Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown, Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. I'm still on the Auburn Blitz. I didn't do an Auburn Blitz this week, so
you're just so giddy you can't even.
I can't even begin to contain myself. Hopefully, Luke will be able to. But we appreciate all of you out there being with us. Hey, look, you come off months of an off season. And you have 5 glorious straight days of college football. It just, my goodness, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
Labor Day's better than Thanksgiving. There's 100%. And because you start on Thursday, you have football, then you have Friday night football, with high school, then you have all the day games Saturday. The Sunday game was fantastic. Lots of fun to watch. And then the Monday game was kind of fun if you just wanted to hate watch Florida State, and I did. And then, you turn around and it's Tuesday and you're like, okay, I can recover quicker because Thursday NFL starts and then the college football season again. Now, the games this weekend aren't great, but
there are some. You got Texas at Michigan.
But, boy, I feel like Texas certainly looks like the much better of the two, but that could be fun. Then there's Tennessee and NC State. I thought that was going to be better. I think Tennessee now.
Arkansas at Oklahoma State.
Not awful. And Arkansas, they're feeling a lot like Auburn.
They put up over 600 yards, had 70 points.
Yeah, they really are
now
like crowing.
Arkansas Pine Bluff. I don't know what that means.
Granted, but agreed. But it's going to be interesting if they can get a win there. South Alabama went over there and won, so why can't Arkansas do it? They did it last year, but. I watched some of that Arkansas game. They looked okay. I could still spot some weaknesses, but they're pretty good. And we'll talk all about the SEC, but this weekend isn't necessarily the best lineup, but it's still going to be fun. And then you got the NFL Sunday. It's just, this is the best 2-week period. No matter how good the games are, it's just a great 2-week period.
We'll talk a lot tonight about, of course, Alabama and Auburn and their victories over Western Kentucky, 63-0, and Alabama A&M, 73-3, respectively. We'll talk about the games in the SEC as well. Talk about interesting games in and around the country. If you'd like to talk about one specifically, or even some high school game that you went to this week, by all means, give us a call, 256-234-6221. We'd love to talk with you about that. Again, NFL season is about to begin, as Luke mentioned. High school football is in now a couple of weeks into the season. Major League Baseball is kind of nearing toward the end of the regular season, going into the playoffs. The U.S. Open's on out in New York. Man, there's just a lot of sports going on. This is a great time of year.
I did notice something in the U.S. Open. Apparently there was some female player that got mad at a ball girl, potentially, and the ball girl went and collected the 3 tennis balls, right? And then she bounced one to her, and the tennis player just let it hit off her chest. She bounced another one to her, just hit off her chest. She did another one, and then the ball girl was like, "What are you doing?" I don't know why she was mad at her, but I just thought it was funny.
Well, maybe she needs to do like Djokovic and hit her or something.
Yeah.
That would be more fun, but anyway.
It'd make it more interesting because that's the only way I'm watching the U.S. Open.
Now, since Djokovic is out, I probably won't be watching. Although Anna Navarro's, I think that's her name. She was really good. We'll see if she wins it. Anyway, some interesting things that happened just to kind of kick things off. Florida State now 0-2. We kind of opened with that a little bit, talked a little bit about that. Miami, we talked about when we did our Florida preview that this was not only an important game, this was almost a must-win for Florida to get off to this start in the season because their schedule is just so difficult. And
it looks worse now.
It looks a whole lot worse now. And Miami, now, again, Miami beat the mess out of Texas A&M last year to begin the season and really tailed off and had a very mediocre season. So what does this exactly mean for either team? Well, it's not good news for Florida, and I don't know if it's great news for Miami, but we'll find out later on. And then I asked this question to some friends of mine. Who made the bigger statement? Was it Georgia beating an overrated Clemson team, hammering them, or was it Vanderbilt upsetting an overrated Virginia Tech?
Well, short term, I think it's Vanderbilt because everybody was like, what? Long term, I think it's clearly Georgia saying, we're not going anywhere. And Georgia did exactly what they wanted. I'm going to sound like I've found the secret to success, but it's a lot more difficult in execution than it is in theory. If you need to get ahead of Georgia, let them play catch up. And it seems like when they do that, they're not at their best. When they were toying with Clemson, they were just like, we're just going to keep feeling you out, and we're going to keep giving you body blows, and eventually we're going to knock you out. You can't sustain this. And that's what the first half looked like. And then Georgia came out, and they sort of did some Georgia things, and all of a sudden Clemson couldn't match them. I feel like had Clemson been able to get, make it 10-3 or something at half, which they clearly couldn't, if they could have done that, that second half may have taken on a different tenor. But that's what you have to do. You have to get ahead of Georgia early and just let them know, hey, we're here, and you got to come catch us.
Yeah.
Because if you ever have to play catch up to Georgia, it's about impossible. They just have too many weapons, and they're too good on defense, and that's when they pin their ears back. And, I mean, their defense is very reminiscent of Alabama's defenses the last 15 years. They come after you, and when you're trying to come back, you're dropping back. And when you're dropping back, they got dudes who will come and eat you alive. And but if you have the lead and they're not really sure what you're going to do, all of a sudden you make them think a little more instead of just react. Maybe you have a shot, but Georgia's still Georgia, and they're still pretty good. And again, it's so much easier to say, hey, just get out in front of Georgia, and then you'll win. Well, that's really tough to do. But that's the thing. A good coach will find a way to do it. And Dabo Swinney I thought Cade Klubnik would be a little better. I thought Clemson was going to keep this a little closer. And then for a little while, it looked like that may be the case. But I've seen Cole Kublik tweeted out something about the Clemson offensive blocking, and there was one incident where, it seemed everybody from the line pulled in different directions, and they all ran into each other, Three Stooges style. And Cole Kublik was like, "Oh no!" I mean, that's all. That was his only caption on the Twitter.
That's worse than probably two. No, it's not worse.
It's not worse.
Than two Florida lemon.
No, they were purposely blocking each other. Yeah.
But I've always, I've kind of explained it. Playing Georgia the last 5 or 6 years, their defense is. I mean, it's almost like an anaconda. I mean, it'll wrap around once they get ahead of you, like you say. It just gets tighter. Everything tightens up, and they squeeze more and more and more, and it just squeezes the life out of you in the second half. So I mean, that's exactly the way they've been playing, and I think that's exactly the way that Kirby coaches it. So, it is much easier said than done, but like you say, I don't know if this game says more about Georgia or it says more about Clemson, but Clemson's clearly moving. Looking back on it, it seems like they were, I don't want to say fortunate, but they were, like everybody, as much as everybody else is, they benefited from 3 really talented quarterbacks in a row. And the last couple have just not been.
When you miss on a QB, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
And then, and again, I think everybody likes to say, well, Dabo should use the transfer portal more. Well, maybe he probably should. But then you look at somebody like Florida State who used the transfer portal a ton, and they're stinky bodinky too. I mean, in fact, some of the guys that came over from Alabama to go to Florida State, Roy Dale Williams has been fine. He hadn't certainly been setting the world on fire because nobody has. But T.J. Ferguson, who transferred over, he got a big unsportsmanlike penalty last night. It was a total flop, but counts. I mean, it's a good move by the defense to be smart. If somebody pushes you, act like they pushed you in the next week. And he did, and then he got up and did the gritty, which was kind of funny. He wasn't as hurt as he let on.
Yeah.
The officials should have picked the flag up. You know, be like, look, man, you can't do this. Or offsetting, like, excessive celebration or something. But
Misleading the referee.
But, you know, and then DJU is obviously a transfer. I mean, Florida State's got transfers everywhere. The truth is in the middle, and the truth is also what you need it to be. Florida State did go very hard after Cam Ward. If
Auburn.
If they had him, if Florida State had Cam Ward, I bet you they'd be 2-0. Based on what I saw against Florida. Now, Florida's pretty bad, so maybe we're overestimating him. But I believe that if Florida State had Cam Ward, they'd be 2-0. Because I don't think Boston College and Georgia Tech have the talent to hang with Florida State if they have a capable quarterback. The problem is they just don't. And again, that's not a shot at DJ Uiagalelei. I think you can say, hey, he's barely average as a quarterback. Now, somebody may clutch their pearls and say, how can you say that about the young man? Well, that's still positive. That's better than most of the population of the United States. So it's not an insult, but based on his peers, I would say he's average, if not a little below average. And it's not his fault that he was in the same class as Bryce Young, who won a Heisman, went to a national championship game, did a bunch of great things, was #1 pick in the draft, and C.J. Stroud, who went to Ohio State, went to the playoffs, lost barely to Georgia, was the NFL Rookie of the Year, #2 pick in the draft. It's not his fault, and they were all from the same state, by the way, in California. It's not his fault, but he's always tied to them, like it or lump it. And
I was going to say, it's time to stop putting – he was the #3 quarterback.
He was the #2. Stroud was #3.
Well, it's time to stop putting that up on the screen.
Agreed.
Because that's ignominious. And I mean, it makes him look bad, not good.
Exactly. And I think it's time to just call it what it is. I'll tell you what it's really time for. It's probably time for, what's his name, Brock something. But his name is Auburn Brock something. And Auburn tried to recruit him. He ended up committing to Ohio State. And I guess he either flipped to Florida State or transferred to Florida State. But his first name is Auburn because his grandfather went there and was a big Auburn guy or something.
Okay.
And they named him for him. But I would make a change if I were Florida State. While you got the off week, make a change. It's not going to work with DJU no matter how good a kid he is. He may be a fantastic kid, but it's not going to work.
No, I don't think so. We're up against our first break here, just getting started, but love to hear from you. 256-234-6221. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We're your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout Central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
Red Flag Pest Control is Central Alabama's best in pest control with hometown service in Lake Martin and now the greater Montgomery area. When you see pests, throw down the red flag. Termites, bed bugs, carpenter bees, mosquitoes, or general pests. Red Flag gets the job done at the right price for your home or business. At Lake Martin, call 888-943-0353 or in Montgomery, 334-265-1831. Red Flag, the best in pest control in Central Alabama.
Hello, I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. I don't even think I said that in the first segment. I am Andy Graham. He is Luke Robinson. We'll be with you until around 9 o'clock this evening, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. We are brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by Sunshine Heating and Air. For all of your heating and cooling needs, give Kevin Keel and his crew a call. 256-825-4849. 256-825-4849. Sunshine Heating and Air. All right, Luke, you did not go to the Alabama game. Is that correct?
didn't.
Okay.
And, you know, I was at the beach. Boy, I tell you, it's a good spot, too. It was a friend of mine happens to have, chef's kiss to their father who bought this place a long time ago, and it's like right at Miramar Beach. Like, I'm talking about you step out and there you are on the beach, and it's just like, okay, I want to live here forever.
Yeah, really.
And the weather was so good. My daughter had a blast, all that stuff. But we big Alabama fans were with us, and so we watched the game and, had to do a podcast after it, so I had to take notes. Even though I did partake in some adult beverages, that makes it even better, right?
Hey.
I'm sort of a negative Nancy by nature initially. Like, at first I was like, I kind of wanted to see more fire out of DeBoer, or I didn't see enough intermediate passing to make me think Jalen Milrose improved, or gosh, how'd we give up a sack on this play? And, there was one bad snap by Parker Brailsford. And then as the week goes on and I talked to some folks, first of all, some people that comment on the podcast were like, well, first of all, we didn't have a lot of intermediate passing because we were hitting every deep pass. Our drives were 3 and touchdown, not 3 and out. So it wasn't like we had these long sustained drives. And I was like, okay, that's very fair. And then Parker Brailsford, I found out his bad snap, which went over the head and ended up in a turnover. It wasn't Brailsford's fault. What happened was Brailsford was still making his line check. Milroe didn't recognize that, and so Milroe called for the snap. When he calls for the snap, you're supposed to snap it. So Brailsford was, kind of multitasking, and everything wasn't set, and it led to some confusion. And I chalked that up to communication first of the year, and I feel better about that. It's not like this is a situation like last year. Then
that was a sack.
That was, well, it was a sack and a fumble. That was the one turnover. But then, the positive things were Milroe did look pretty doggone good. His stats weren't like jump off the page. I think 200 passing and 75 or so rushing. Ryan Williams is, I don't know how I can be a bigger fan than I was, but I am. He's everything I thought he was going to be and then some. He exceeded my expectations. I couldn't believe 2 catches, and they were both just eye-popping, like, what in the world? The second one reminded me of Ike Hilliard's play in the 97 Sugar Bowl against Florida State, where he catches the ball down the middle, stops on a dime, cuts back the other way. 2 Florida State players run into each other. And I was blown away. You forget this kid is one of the youngest players in college football. He should be playing for Saraland right now. And by the way, he started his own podcast with Jalen Mbakwe, and they already have like 15,000 followers or so subscribers. I mean, they're going to make bukus of money on that alone. The defense, you shut out an opponent. And look, we can all make fun of TJ Finley. The truth of the matter is he's been in college football for a long time. He's played in some big games. He's very experienced, and he didn't do much of anything. Keon Sabb with 2 interceptions, replacing Caleb Downs, who didn't have a great game for Ohio State, by the way. I'm not saying Keon Sabb's better. I'm just saying that's just the facts of this particular game. And Quay Russaw, James Smith, Q Robinson, these are all guys, LT Overton, all guys we wanted to see like take a step up, and they did. Jahad Campbell. I thought Alabama looked noticeably more muscular and defined and slimmer. Now, is that going to be good long term? I don't know. I made the remark, they look like more defined and less big. Doesn't mean I think that it's better or worse just yet, because what if somebody comes in there to push you around? I don't know yet, but I could tell a difference in the way a lot of players looked. Justice Haynes, 85-yard touchdown. Alabama didn't have a play last year at over 80 yards. The longest 2 runs last year, by the way, by Alabama were Ty Simpson, 78 yards, and he dropped the ball before he got in the end zone. I think Alabama recovered it and ultimately scored. But and then Jalen Milroe's 53-yard run against Mississippi State. Those are the 2 longest runs of the year by all the running backs. So, I kept saying all summer, I'm not worried about losing Roydell or Jace McClellan, even though I like both those guys. I wish them well. Jace with the Falcons, Roydell with FSU. I feel like we upgraded at the running back position. I think these guys are better weapons. Jam Miller, Justice Haynes. I know Richard Young got in. He didn't have much of an opportunity, but then Kevin Riley got in there. I thought he was speedy, and Daniel Hill scored a touchdown. So all that was better. Jam Miller and Justice Haynes both had long touchdown runs. Kendrick Law scored a touchdown. I mean, everybody's saying for years now, oh, we got to get Kendrick Law more involved. And I said, that's great, but he hadn't done anything except have a touchdown called back against Auburn that I could know about. And so he scored the second touchdown of the year this year. So I'm like, hey, that's positive. There were lots and lots and lots of positives. Yeah, there's some things you can pick apart for sure. But it's game 1, and if Alabama had played a perfect game, I'd be worried. But they have a lot of things that they still can work on, so I think it went really well for DeBoer in his first game.
Okay. Alabama's got South Florida coming up this week. I don't know what – I didn't even look. What did they
beat Bethune-Cookman 48-3, and I think they had sort of the same situation Auburn did where because I just looked at the box score, I didn't watch the game, but they didn't score at all in the 4th, and it looked like they were sort of just scoring when they want to, and then they just sort of, But South Florida's coach is the former offensive coordinator for Tennessee when they beat Alabama 2 years ago in Tennessee. And, of course, South Florida gave Alabama a fit last year. Now, people do forget that the more we talk about that game and the further we get away from it, you always say, boy, Alabama must have kicked a field goal to win at the end. No, they won 17-3. But it feels closer than that. And it was also sort of
like a one-score game for a long time.
Yeah, it was sort of a come-to-Jesus moment for Jalen Milroe. He didn't even play in the game. And that's why I said I think this is going to be – I think Jalen Milroe is going to want to have a really good game in this one to sort of exercise some demons. And I think most of Alabama's best players for this year's team didn't play in that game. You talk about Justice Haynes, who's starting running back, or Jam Miller, who only had 1 carry in that game. Ryan Williams, who is Ryan Williams. Jalen Milroe didn't play at all. Parker Brailsford certainly wasn't on the team. So a lot of the best players, especially on offense, weren't in the game last year. So I feel good about it. Alabama's actually a slightly bigger favorite in this game than they were against Western Kentucky, which surprises me somewhat. I don't think Alabama's going to shut out South Florida. I think South Florida, probably get 7-10 points, maybe 13, something like that. But I still expect Alabama to have a really big game.
All right, we'll go ahead and take another break. We'll come back and talk about the Auburn Tigers and what they did with Alabama A&M when we come back with more right after this.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you, brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Wonderful place to have lunch or dinner right here in downtown Alexander City. Great food, great atmosphere, great place there. JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Go and check them out one day this week. All right, Luke, one final thing on Alabama. A new coaching staff for the first time? Well, there have been changes, obviously, but new at the top, of course, and new in the position coaches. Did you notice any different, style or approach offensively or defensively that kind of jumped out at you?
No, I noticed a couple of things. First of all, Alabama got their first turnover from Keon Sabb. He got that interception, and immediately they all grouped up and did I don't know if it was a real selfie or a fake selfie. I don't know. You could see him on the sideline, and I thought, okay, that seemed a little off. Maybe somebody did that with Saban. I don't remember it. And then there was also a time when they catch Kalen DeBoer kind of later in the game, and you could tell somebody said something and he laughed. He kind of it wasn't like a guffaw. It was sort of like And I was thinking, oh my God, I didn't know coaches could do that. And part of me was like, I don't know if I like it. And then I was like, yeah, but that's just who he is. And the more I'm finding out about him, I don't know if you saw the video. There was a video of he invited a young lady, must have been 10, 11 years old, that was battling some type of illness. I assume cancer. I'm not sure. I don't even think it said what was going on in the video. But obviously she had some sort of malady, and she said big Alabama fans would invite her over, and she said Jalen Milroe's her favorite player, but she loves running backs. And so they set up one of those plays where they sort of hand her the ball in practice and let her score a touchdown, and the whole team just cheers for her. You've seen all that before, but it's just neat. Every time it happens, no matter what team it is, it'll give you chills, because it's like you're just, for that moment, they're a superstar, and it's just awesome. And to put that out there via social media, Saban did a lot of stuff. Saban did a lot of stuff for the community. Obviously, Nick's Kids is a big deal. I mean, Saban was pretty philanthropic, but you never really heard about it. It was like that just didn't get out there much. Everybody was so captured by all of his coaching stuff that they didn't really worry about that. But to see this get out there was sort of a different side of Alabama football. And I mean, I like it. I didn't know that I would. I mean, not saying I didn't want her to score, just saying I didn't know that I would want Alabama to be that side of things, because we've been so businesslike and so successful doing it that way. But it's kind of cool, and I thought it's a change of pace. We probably needed one, because there will not be another Saban, so we need to deal with that and let this man be himself.
Okay. All right, the Auburn Tigers, 73-3 over Alabama A&M. I don't know how much of this game you saw or how many of the highlights that you saw, but obviously the score probably doesn't tell how bad
I saw
they
enough to know.
Beat them.
I saw enough to know that Alabama A&M was just what you and I said they'd be last Tuesday, like the perfect game for Auburn, because you name your score.
Well, and I looked at. I didn't watch any of the Alabama game. I hadn't seen any of the highlights, but just looking at the stats today, I see that they ran for 334 yards, and I was hoping and praying that Auburn, because Auburn could have run for 400 yards in this game. And if Gus Malzahn was there, that's exactly what we'd have done. And so many of the other coaches that had been at Auburn, that's exactly what we would have done. We would have gone in there and said, okay, well, we'd have tried to do a little things here in the first quarter and maybe a little bit in the second quarter, and then we said, let's just get the game over with. Let's just run the ball. And we'd have run it for 400 yards, and we'd have probably scored 55 points, and we'd all been happy and gone on. That is not what this Auburn team needs. They were one of the worst teams in the SEC last year when it comes to passing. I think they were 121st in the country. They absolutely needed to come out and turn these young receivers loose and let Peyton Thorne get out and let everybody stretch their legs and let him stretch his arm and really – and that's exactly what they did. And they never turned their particular foot off the gas until the fourth quarter. They even let Hank Brown turn it loose as a backup quarterback and actually run the offense in the third quarter. They ended up throwing for 450 yards, which, I mean, I hate it for Alabama A&M. I have no ill will toward them. In fact, I felt sorry for them. But, I mean, this is what Auburn needs. They've got to, develop that passing game. And we got young kids out there playing. We got guys, 2 transfers and 4 freshmen that have got to learn on the job. And that's exactly what they did. And, I look, it's one game, but you can – obviously you can tell. I don't think I've seen – I know I haven't seen a collective receiving core that I would even compare it to since Obamanu, Arumi Shadu, Courtney Taylor, and Anthony Mix as a whole. They may – and quite honestly, they may be better than them before it's all said and done. But that's the only – I think that's the only comparison that I could make right now with them for sure.
I did see some of the highlights, but again, I think, like you said, the best thing you could do is almost like it was an 8A game where all the starters were on one team, you know. And so the fans got to go out there and they got to have a good time with it. And I think it's just what Auburn needed. I mean, I said last week I thought A&M and Notre Dame, that's what A&M needed. Now, I sort of thought A&M would win that game. I still think it was what they needed. It just sort of, the schedule fell right for Alabama, A&M, and Auburn, I think. So, yeah, I think Auburn fans should feel certainly a sense of rejuvenation and feel like, hey, we're going to be better. I mean, they look better. Again, you can look at a team and see that they're better without judging the opponent. And I think Auburn, for the most part, was crisper. They had other people step up and make some things happen. You know, they probably could have thrown it to Cam Coleman every time and gotten a touchdown about every time, but they did spread it around a little bit. All that was probably purposeful. So I feel like that's a positive. And as you and I talked about, Cal is probably the second best opponent Auburn could have for this particular game, because it's a bit of a step up. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but the Auburn should still win it. I mean, they're a 13, 14-point favorite. And then who is week 3 for Auburn?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Now, I mean, again, aren't they coached by Bronco Mendenhall?
Yep.
Now,
They're better.
They're better. Now, they're not going to win, but again, I mean, they may be better than Cal. They may be.
No, they're not.
But they're probably in the area code.
I bet Cal would beat them by 10 points at least.
I don't know. We'll see. But so then you've got Arkansas, and then you got Oklahoma. So again, you start the road grind. But again, if I were Auburn, I'd feel a lot better. Look, the SEC looked pretty good overall, didn't it? I mean, that's the one catch is
outside of a couple.
I mean, yeah, well, outside of a couple. But I mean, even if you're LSU, LSU loses. I thought Nussmeier looked pretty doggone good, man. He threw some darts. Now that last drive, he throws a horrible pass, but it was 9 seconds to go, and they had to have a miracle. So I mean, you can sort of discount that, but I think overall, I mean, Tennessee fans are pretty excited. Arkansas fans are excited. Ole Miss fans are excited. SEC put up 70 or 60 points. Just about across the board, it felt like.
It was pretty crazy.
And so it's going to, even Mississippi State fans are pretty excited. I mean, they looked good. I didn't get to see a minute of their game.
I didn't either.
But they apparently,
they go out to Arizona State this week, so that's definitely a big challenge.
My son gets to cover that game, because he's at Arizona State, so he's excited about that. I'm going to try my darndest to stay up for it. I don't know that I'm going to be successful.
I was very happy to see, Peyton Thorne looked like he was in complete control. He looked a lot more comfortable just in the offense now. Everybody looks comfortable when the bullets aren't really whizzing past your head. So, he just kind of got able to stand back there and survey the field. But, having so many more targets is going to make his life so much easier. And we didn't even have to use the running game. So, they're going to have their day, and they're going to be needed and heavily relied upon in the coming weeks. But I think that just makes it so much easier to do something that we already know that we can do from last year. Auburn, I think ended up third in the SEC in rushing, so they feel comfortable with that. And if the passing game can continue to develop and those explosive plays can continue to happen, then that running game is just going to be that much better. It's just a matter of can the defense. I don't think we learned hardly anything about the defense.
There was a time I'm curious. All right, so I know Alabama A&M got down to near the goal line at one time. Did Auburn have a goal line stand or something?
They tried a field goal and missed.
It must have been from like 17 yards because I think I remember seeing on the ESPN thing it was like first and goal or third and goal at the 1 or something.
Well, we ended up getting like a 10-yard sack or something.
Okay.
I think. But the only reason they were down there was because J.C. Hart played they tried to throw it deep. J.C. Hart, who is another young player, just playing for the first time from Lochapoka High School, made a great play on the ball, went up, it went right through his hands, tipped up in the air, and the guy caught it.
Oh, wow.
But he did turn around and make the tackle before the guy got to the end zone, and then we held them and pushed them back, and they ended up missing a field goal. So don't ever give on the play. That was good. Catch the stupid ball. That is the bad.
A couple of comments here. Steve Stevens says the gap between Auburn and Georgia is as large as any time in the 100 years history. Has Auburn closed the gap? First of all, I don't think that's true. I think the gap was
bigger last year.
It was bigger last year, the year before that. He said Auburn hasn't won in Athens since 05. I don't think Auburn's going to win in Athens this year, but the gap's closed. I mean, look, Georgia's sort of on a different plane right now. Auburn's trying to get there. Everybody's, I think most teams are trying to get there, including Alabama. Ty Sanders said if they didn't reduce to 10 minutes in the second half, Auburn might have scored 90. And that's true, but that's why you reduce it.
If they had reduced it to 5 minutes and Auburn wanted to score 90, if they wanted to score 100, they could have.
I mean, Alabama A&M is that bad. So, yeah, you could have scored. I don't know that would have helped anything, though. I think Auburn did the right number of points.
I'm glad they did 10 minutes because it was just painful.
It's brutal to watch that. People don't understand. Like, the guys calling the game are like, please, Lord in heaven, reduce it.
Well, when you got the third string in and you're still just moving in at will, you're just like, okay. At some point you turn into Steve Spurrier and are like, ain't it their job to stop us?
And it is, but it's also, this is such a mismatch. It wasn't like Alabama A&M had any shot whatsoever. If this were Florida and Samford from a couple years ago, where Samford put up the most points in Gainesville ever, and by the way, they play Samford this weekend, then I would understand it. But I think you either had to say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do running clock and we're going to run our offense, or we're going to do standard clock and we're just running the ball. I think those are the only two things you could do.
Yeah. All right, we got to take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Daytonville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Just one more segment left in the first hour of tonight's show. It's flying by. I think I said
football season makes it happen.
That's true. Let me make a correct. I think I said Anna Navarro. I think that's the chick on The View. Emma Navarro is the tennis player.
That would have been a better story.
I didn't want to insult the tennis player.
I got you. Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it.
Okay. Any more? I know you. Any more thoughts on Auburn that you'd like to?
No, I mean I think it's going to be a fun game this weekend. I think Auburn again should beat Cal rather handily, and
I hope Auburn doesn't get ahead of themselves. I mean I know the fans are, but I hope the team does, and I hope Hugh Freeze will wrangle them in and preach to them all, say look, and I hope. He's saying, look, Cal's looking at this same defense last year saying, it's the same bunch. They got a few new players. They had 94 yards passing against us. Peyton Thorne's the same guy. I hope that's exactly what they're telling them. So they can go out and prove themselves wrong. So I take it one game at a time. Don't start looking at Oklahoma and thinking, don't start thinking about just beat the mess out of Cal. Please. That's all I'm asking. But yeah, I think that's just good advice for anybody.
That's good. That's a good call.
All right, SEC. We got Clemson and Georgia. Georgia winning 34-3, 447 total yards to 188. It was just, I mean, again, does this say more about Georgia? Or does it say more about Clemson?
I think it says more about Clemson. I think. In the not too distant past, I think that Clemson would have hung much better. And
what was that? Wasn't that? How many years ago was that Clemson and Georgia opened and it was like 6-0 or 10-0?
10-3 was the final or something. Okay. But I think that was 2021, I believe. I believe that was their national championship year for Georgia, their first one. And I think that they've just fallen off. Clemson's fallen off. I mean. By the way, DJ Uiagalelei was the quarterback for Clemson then. Yeah. So I just feel like Clemson's just fallen off a bit. I mean, their recruiting is not where it was, and they've just taken a step behind Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State and a bunch of other teams that they were hanging with. And look, it doesn't mean Dabo needs to be fired. It doesn't mean I don't know about wholesale changes. I don't know what he needs to do. I would probably at least investigate the transfer portal if I were him. They could. How much different would that game have been if, say, Cam Ward were on Clemson's team, versus Cade Klubnik? But they also don't have a dynamic wide receiver. They got Antonio Williams, who I believe is also from Alabama. I believe he is. I'm not 100% sure.
That'd be your department.
So, yeah, I think that they just don't have – and their running back is Marfa, and he's good. But, again, I wouldn't call him great. Where's the star power? Peter Woods is very good, but I didn't really see him a lot in that Georgia game. I'm not going to pretend that I watched it with an eagle eye, but
they almost seem like right now I think I recognize this pattern. Because I think at the end of the year, if it goes the way that I think it's probably going to go, they're going to say, "Well, I mean, we're going to fire our offensive coordinator." That's really the problem. We got to bring in somebody with a different approach and a different. It just wasn't working. This and that, whatever. And here we go with the merry-go-round. Well, it's going to be something different. Well, I mean, if we change the defensive coordinator, if we change this will be the magic, and that just never works. So I think they're in that spiral, the beginning of it, but we'll see.
It doesn't work most time. Saban made it work a couple of times where he sort of changed his old philosophy. But see, Dabo seems so set in his ways. I don't know that he will do that. You know. And meanwhile, here you are in the middle of this thing with Florida State suing your conference, so you're sort of in limbo there. There's just a lot in flux with Clemson right now, and I wonder, are they going to be able to get back in the recruiting, get out of the recruiting rut they seem to be in? I mean, I'm not sure what they're ranked right now, but it's not as high as it probably should be. They should be in on some other guys. I mean, this is they should be the school. Like, yeah, we had Deshaun Watson. Yeah, we had Trevor Lawrence. I mean, yeah, we had, some of the wide receivers they've had.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
But so
the little white guy that's going.
Well, yeah. Look, don't even mention his name. Hunter Renfrow. But no, they Nuke Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins, guys like that. Those should all be front and center, and it just feels like they're not recruiting at that level right now, and that's a problem. And on top of that, they're in a conference that is on the downturn. I mean, we don't even know what the ACC is going to be here before too terribly long, if it's going to be.
True. I mentioned Miami. We talked about that. They went into the swamp and beat the Gators 41-17 again.
Beat the mess out of them.
529 yards of offense. I mean, good grief. A team come in there and do that in the swamp. And I just don't think Miami's that good. But maybe with Cam Ward, maybe they are.
God.
We'll find out.
Wouldn't you love to have Florida on the schedule this year?
261 total yards for Florida. And it just – I mean, they just didn't look like a good team.
Well, yeah, I just –
Graham Marsh is just – he's just not
Graham
good.
Mertz.
What does it matter?
Doesn't matter because it's probably going to be DJ Lagway before too long. They just aren't good.
Well, they're going to throw that kid in there, and he just throw him to the wolves. And then I may ruin him.
I mean,
I guess that's the chance you take.
That's a chance you got to take. You got to do something, and you have to do something to appease the masses, let them know you're thinking about the future. Because, I mean, yes, in theory, they could run the table and make the playoffs. In theory, communism works. So it's not going to happen,
Yeah, and in theory, Back to the Future is plausible.
Yeah.
I mean, but, yeah. Notre Dame goes into what I'm told is the toughest place to play in the country and wins 23-13 in College Station. A&M, I mean, this was a tight game. I did not get to see I did not get to see most of this game, but I did go back and watch at least the second half, the fourth quarter of it. I was watching it on the way home, but it looked like Notre Dame just basically took control of the line of scrimmage in the fourth quarter and just basically beat. I mean, they just took control of the game.
Well, they had the better quarterback. Connor Weigman he looked lost at times, and they just couldn't get anything going. A&M's defense is pretty stout. They were pretty good. Riley Leonard's a really good player. He's a fantastic athlete. Now, he is from the state of Alabama. And, Notre Dame and A&M were sort of trading body blows, and then it seemed like the door opened just a little bit, and Notre Dame came through it. They took a touchdown lead with about 2 minutes left, and then I think they got a turnover or something, so they kicked a field goal to make it a 2-score game, and that sort of wrapped it up. Yeah, I feel for Texas A&M a little bit. I mean, boy, they had an opportunity. They should have won this game. Everybody's singing Notre Dame's praises, talking about how, Marcus Freeman's a rock star in Notre Dame, pencil them in. And you probably can pencil them into the playoffs because their schedule's pretty doggone easy. But if they get in there, I don't think they're going to do a lot of damage because they're going to play somebody a lot better than Texas A&M.
Yeah. Well, JJ and I were talking when I came into the station that Riley Leonard, although while completely different physically, he and Diego Pavia kind of remind me of the same guy.
Yeah.
They neither one of them are the greatest passers. Neither one of them are the fastest guys, but they're just both gamers, man. They put it. They will get that. They will find a way to make the completion. They will find a way to get to that first down that you need. I mean, they're just winners, I guess, is the best way to say it.
They're dudes.
So,
I mean, and Riley Leonard is an exceptional athlete, and Pavia, He looked great out there. I mean, you just knew Vandy was going to choke it away. You just knew it, right? I mean, you could see it. And they come back and they tie it up, and then they miss the field goal to win it, and you're like, okay, don't do it, Vandy. And, they just stand tall. It was great. It was great to see, thrilled for them, good for the SEC. And, Alabama and Auburn both play Vandy this year. So, I mean, it's not going to be quite the cakewalk you thought.
At least we get them at home.
Yeah.
I think Alabama's they got to go too, though.
Got to go right into the mouth of the beast.
That's right. But bully for them. Anchors away.
Anchors down.
Down. Whatever. Who cares? But
anchor down. Just anchor.
I know. To be able to, I think they said this was, I can't remember exactly, but it was like it's been 100 years since they beat a ranked opponent to start a season or something like that, and this was like the first time in 70 or 80 games that they won when they trailed by 7 in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was staggering, but
it's amazing. I mean, and again, good on them. I'm happy for them. I'm sure they partied like it was 1899 or whatever.
They better enjoy it because there's better teams than VT on the schedule.
Well, but if you took the over on Vandy for the win total, it was 2.5. I feel pretty sporty right now.
Well, that's all I said. At the beginning of the year, I think we were talking about Clark Lee. I said, just don't go 2-10, and you're okay.
Go 3-9.
You just
go 3-9.
Go. Hey, they could go 4-8. They could go 5 and who knows?
I don't know what their schedule is, but
well,
if they play Florida, they got a shot.
That's true.
I don't think they do.
I bet they play. Surely they play South Carolina, maybe.
I think they play South Carolina. I think they play
Mississippi
Kentucky.
State and Kentucky, maybe. So anyway, USC takes down LSU. This game was very kind of evenly matched, but went back and forth. I'm like you, as usual. LSU has 10 penalties for 100 yards,
and some of their penalties were so dumb.
Oh yeah,
the first touchdown by Kyron Lee, and it was a great catch. What a great job! And then he gets up and he does sort of a celebration coming out of the tunnel, and then he does something where he simulates a gunshot to an opponent's head. You're like, geez, man, what is wrong with you? And then, of course, what's even more hilarious and ironic, the very next commercial is a commercial for a movie called The Killer Game or The Killer's Game. And it's like just shooting people in the head the whole commercial. And I'm like, okay, so we can't simulate it, but we can kind of show it through an advertiser right after it was penalized. I was like, there's some hypocrisy there, but that's okay. We don't need to put that. You don't need to make those kind of gestures, nothing like that. I thought the officials this weekend let a lot of excessive celebrations go. Maybe they've been told to sort of chill on those.
I bet they have.
I wouldn't mind if they.
I think taunting is still going to be an issue.
Like you got to do it.
I think celebration is. Yeah, I think they're going to let it go now. Golly, you remember when that was like, you couldn't do. I mean, if you basically raised your hand, they'd throw a flag on you. I mean,
I just don't need all the hip gyrations.
Yeah. And this is my one thing, man. Please, we know it's a first down. Yeah. They happen all the time. Stop every single player that makes first down giving the first down sign. What is that? Why do people do that? Man, I mean, it's like you're down 3 touchdowns. They're giving the first down sign.
I know.
Just stop. We know it's a first down.
And here's the other thing, a couple other notes out there that, so did we talk about this last week about the redshirt rule? You know what the new redshirt rule is going to be apparently?
Oh, you can play in the playoffs
you can play 4 games and not count towards burning your redshirt.
Yeah.
Then you can play in the championship game. You can play in all the playoffs, or you can play in the bowl game or whatever. So theoretically, you could play in 9 of your, 17 games or something, I guess, and still be eligible.
All right.
And, I mean,
well, that's
why don't we just say there is no red shirt? Here's what I'm all for. Just say everybody's got 5 years. Now, if you get hurt one year, I'm really sorry. That is one thing that we just don't do enough as a society is just say, hey, sometimes you get a bad break. It's nobody's fault. It sucks. Or it was somebody's fault and it sucks.
Yeah.
But we just can't go around saying, I need an exception because blank.
That's funny. Every time I seem to deal with the government, that's what they say.
I know.
I'm sorry, but it just sucks.
It sucks.
Why does it always happen, but for other people?
But if you, I think if we just had a rule that just said, like, there's a guy from Miami that's in his 9th year. And God bless him, he scored a touchdown, and I guess some people think it's just the most heartwarming story of the year. I'm like, no, we don't need that. I'm sorry, we just don't need somebody in college for 9 years. You can go, well, but his mama got sick, and then his aunt got sick, and then his leg got broken, and his other leg got broken. I'm sorry, again, I'm sorry, and that sucks. But I think 5 years is plenty. Give everybody 5 years. Say you can play every game of those 5 years, but if you're hurt every game of those 5 years, you get no more. That way we have turnover. That way we have new blood coming in, and it can't just be the same people there. You know, you get somebody else has a chance to make NIL money.
And I'm assuming the extra COVID year is going to end at some point.
I think it's over this year, but and I don't ever want to do that again.
No.
Don't ever do that again. Just say that's done.
If you don't want to play, don't play.
It's just so simple. I mean, it's just, and we complicate things with all these rules. That's why we can never get any laws passed, because everybody puts a rider on something that, you know, says that ruins everything. Mm-hmm. So let's just make it simple. The simple thing is you have 5 years. How many years do you have? You have 5. Oh, what if I get hurt? Okay, yes, you get 5 years. 5. That's it.
That's it.
And you can play all of them.
People.
They're the worst.
They're the worst. All right, we got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. Never fear. We'll be back with hour number 2 of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
With summer here, the kids out of school, and fun at the lake, illness or injury can strike at any time. Whether you're on vacation or just don't have time to go see your primary doctor, visit your friends and professionals at Ivy Creek Urgent Care, located at Highway 49 South, next to Stillwater's main entrance. With a rotation of 4 professional doctors and 3 nurse practitioners, they honor all walk-ins, get you in, properly treated, and out swift so you can be back to the summer fun fast. When you need urgent, see Ivy Creek Urgent Care, Daveville. No appointment needed.
The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rate. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekend. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson. We'll be with you for one more hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. 256-234-6221. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind. Spent a lot of time talking about Auburn and Alabama. If you got any thoughts on them, give us a call or let us know. Dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page. That's Sports with a Z, and comment away. Talking about the SEC a little bit. We mentioned USC and LSU. This is a very balanced game. Thought, Nussmeier played pretty well. I actually was pretty impressed with him at the beginning of the game, although they had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to put the game away and just could never do it. I don't know if that's a good sign.
Did you see Brian Kelly's post game where he slams down on the podium? There was nothing fun. The only thing funnier than that was his phony Southern accent when he first got there, and it was so. I mean, like
maybe he's just I don't know. Maybe he's just that kind of guy.
He just comes off as just the wrong kind of guy. He just I don't know. LSU's recruiting really well. I just don't get it. I mean, it must be just because it's LSU. And, again, I have to remind myself every now and again when people say, so-and-so's recruiting really well. I'm like, yeah, wonder why. Oh, we have NIL. That's what it is. I have to always remind myself, okay, that makes sense now. But he just seems very disingenuous. And, LSU, where was Harold Perkins? Did you remember him doing that?
I saw him, run by a guy one time.
Yeah. I thought they were going to turn him loose. And he's awesome, but apparently it didn't.
Comes in spurts, apparently. Yeah. USC, look, is USC's defense improved? Is LSU's defense improved? Or are both offenses just, okay?
I think a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. I mean, they don't, obviously LSU lost the Heisman winner and 2 big-time NFL wide receivers. Mason Taylor's a really good tight end. He had some, he dropped one, and that pass was tipped.
Yeah.
He's very good. His dad was Jason Taylor, is an NFL Hall of Famer, so yeah, he should be good, right? USC, that.
It doesn't
Branch
always
kid,
translate, but apparently it did in his case.
That Branch kid is something else. He's got a lot of Jalen Waddle in him to me. Just like every time he gets it, you're like, okay, if he finds a crease, he's out of here.
That kid from USC?
Mm-hmm,
yeah, number one.
Yeah, he's good. And then the other kid that was, I can't remember his name, the other wide receiver that made maybe the catch of the year already, where he caught it, was getting hit at the same time, still held on to it. Pretty unbelievable. And, I mean, I guess it's good for USC. I mean, look, I'm usually very pro-SEC and typically pull for the SEC, but then Brian Kelly makes it so easy to pull against LSU. And so I was kind of pulling for USC just to see how LSU reacts to this, because they still have to, week 3 they go to South Carolina. Now, South Carolina didn't look good. But South Carolina's that Dylan Stewart, that freshman they had, was an absolute monster. I know Ryan Williams won Freshman of the Week, but I saw that kid and I was like, if they give him Freshman of the Week, I get it. He's a dude. Now, I don't know what they can do on offense. I don't know if they can beat LSU. But, boy, if South Carolina can find a way to beat LSU, Katie bar the door for Brian Kelly, things are going to get ugly.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty. Speaking of South Carolina, barely held on. In fact, actually, I think benefited from a turnover late.
They did. They had
to
a
beat
tip pass, yeah.
Old Dominion 23-19. They got outgained by Old Dominion, 305 yards to 288. And Old Dominion turned the ball over 4 times. So
not pretty.
I would say, yeah.
And I saw
that'd be an understatement.
I saw an SEC ranking. I can't remember where I saw it, just power ranking the SEC, and they had South Carolina at dead last now. And I thought, wow, Florida was second to last. I was like, boy, as bad as South Carolina looked, I don't know that I could put Florida above them. But anyway, South Carolina did get the win though, so
yeah.
give them some credit. Let's see what they can. Let's see what they can do going forward. But I don't have a lot of faith. I've tamped down any expectations I had for them.
Yeah, again, going back to the SEC short we were talking about during the break one time, they just play it. I don't know. They obviously, these people, whoever's writing this thing or is a true SEC fan, and they know other people that are true, because, I mean, the things that they say and the things that they insinuate are just, I'm spot on.
Yeah.
And it was just so fun. I mean, after all these big wins, everybody, is just all happy. And South Carolina's just like, yeah.
Crushed them.
We're doing great,
Said, yeah, we have a speedy wide receiver, but Old Dominion's got like 4 or 5 lockdown
We got
corners.
lockdown corners,
Yeah.
NFL corners. So I thought that was pretty funny. Other games, I mean, Missouri, no problem. Murray State, as we mentioned, Arkansas put 70 up on Arkansas Pine Bluff. Oklahoma beat Temple 51-3. I thought Jackson Arnold looked
good.
really good.
I thought they looked pretty good. Now, that was another part of SEC shorts where Oklahoma's going to fit right in. They were like, our second team looked like junk. Second team quarterback didn't do good. We had some receivers dropped, and she was like, didn't you win 48-3? And he said, yeah. And she said, you'll fit right in. And that's exactly right.
True. Now, Grant, they only had 378 total yards. And, they only threw it for 158 yards. So, now, I
think
don't
some
know
of that
what,
is
I don't know what
deceptive, too.
Temple,
I think that they did have some turnovers that got them closer to the goal line. There was a time in the Alabama-Western Kentucky game where the time of possession was like 23 minutes for Western Kentucky and 8 minutes for Alabama, and it's 30-something to nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just, sometimes stats just get skewed.
Well, Alabama A&M time of possession, 41 minutes, 34 seconds. Auburn, 18-26. Doesn't really tell the story of the game, but it does that. Colorado State got beat by Texas 52-0. Texas kind of struggled early, maybe, but hey, Arch Manning
pretty dominant.
Gets the chance to come in.
He gets in, yeah.
Leads for a touchdown drive, his first go.
Yeah, they look good. That in this Michigan game ought to be some fun. I mean, I kind of want Michigan to win just to bring. I don't know who I want to win. I think both of them need to come back down to earth.
It's going to be if Michigan can out physical Texas, and on defense and kind of control the ball. I mean, Texas will score, but can they keep the offense off the field and do what Michigan does? If it can, then it'll be a fourth quarter game.
It'll be interesting to
If
watch
they
it.
can't do that, if Texas stops or shut down the run, Michigan's in trouble.
I just hate that it's at 11 o'clock, just like I hate the next week, Alabama at Wisconsin's at 11 o'clock.
Well, Wisconsin didn't look very good.
They didn't look good, but, I mean, they'll definitely play better against Alabama. And, Alabama should still win that game, don't get me wrong. It's just I hate the games at 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, it happens to the best of us.
It does. Sometimes things just suck, Andy.
Sometimes you just got to deal with it. I've been told. Ole Miss scores 76.
And could have scored a lot more.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart looked good. Was it Trey Smith looked good? Or Trey Harris.
Is that the son of Trey Smith?
No, Trey Harris, the wide receiver, looked really good. Ole Miss is going to be a problem. I mean, they're going to be able to score. It's going to be very interesting.
I'm gonna say this by accident. I'll tell Luke during the break. I'm not gonna say it on the air. But Tennessee's quarterback looked really good. They put up 69 points against Chattanooga.
All right, Iyama Liava.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what I think every time I hear it. But go ahead.
Yeah, Iyama Liava. That's how you say it. And he did look good. And they look like they've got some weapons. And
oh yeah,
they're going to be strong.
There are going to be some offenses in the SEC this year. This is going to be pretty fun to watch, see how this all unfolds.
It is. I mean, you could have a lot of 10-2 teams.
Mississippi State crushes Eastern Kentucky, and Kentucky takes care of Southern Miss, no problem.
And Kentucky also had to do the running clock thing. Or they actually called the game at a certain point, maybe even in the third quarter, because it was like, we're not coming back. And it was Southern Miss, too. Like, wow. They've fallen
only
31-0. Yeah, I mean,
and
like
they
it's
said,
no third period.
we're done.
Well, I mean, I think the weather had gotten so bad.
Okay. Well, that's
just get me out of here, Percy.
Okay.
They're like, you're paying us the same, right? Okay,
Yeah.
give me the money.
All right, we'll go ahead and take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
At Majestic Caverns, we believe in the power of unforgettable experiences. At a cool 60 degrees year-round, America's most historic caverns guarantees an enjoyable escape. But it doesn't stop there. With over 20 above-ground attractions, including 5 new ones this year, and our Cave Cafe, which offers delicious drinks and plenty of food options. And don't miss our exciting event, Libertas. On June 29th, July 6th, and July 13th, enjoy live entertainment and much more. At Majestic Caverns, your unforgettable adventure awaits.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs, discounted up to $13,750 off. Chevy Equinox with discounts up to $6,000 off. And listen to this, 2024 Chevy Blazer EV, as low as $295 a month. Brand new Chevy Blazer EV, 24 months lease, just $295 a month.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Only about 45 more minutes left in tonight's show. Again, thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Penn State, West Virginia, that didn't end up being that big a.
Well, that had a
Penn
lot of
State
weather
kinda.
delays, too.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, do you remember a year with so many weather issues?
Well, I mean, there was the hurricane one year.
Well, I mean, but that was sort of like one off in one region. This has been like several different places. But regardless, yeah, Penn State Drew Aller looked good. This is a quarterback that everybody's been waiting to pop off. And they may actually have a pretty good team. They got a big commitment today from Malachi Goodman, one of the better offensive linemen in the country. I know he looked at Alabama and Auburn at one time, and I think he came down to Penn State and Auburn, and he's from New Jersey, so me staying close to home. But so maybe they can get turned around a little bit. They need a big win, though. I mean, it's nice to go on the road and beat West Virginia, and it's a big deal, and, you know, that place is hard to play and all those things. But you're not going to get the street cred until you beat a Michigan or beat Ohio State or somebody like that. They're going to need to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. California did not look good against UC Davis. They actually got outgained. They did win 31-13, but the numbers just they only run for, I think, a little bit over 100 yards. So it's odd. They're probably looking ahead to Auburn, but that was I don't know.
I don't think Cal ever looks ahead.
Maybe not, but they gotta feel like that game. They should have won that game last year. So this was a great opportunity for them to go on the road and shock the world. I'm sure that's what they were thinking. North Texas Hammers. Well, I mean, beat South Alabama pretty good. South Alabama not off to a good start.
You know, I've been talking about how next year Alabama plays Florida State and Wisconsin. I'm like, kind of wish, unless I know the committee's going to take that into account like they do for basketball, I kind of wish Alabama would cancel one of those series. But now I'm sort of like, we can go ahead and play Florida State.
Yeah. Troy upset at home by Nevada. I don't know.
Well, is that really an upset?
If they were favored.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how much. Of course, you know, SMU was favored by, I don't know, 20 over Nevada, and they only beat them by 5.
First games
so
can
apparently they're much
wonky.
better than people
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was a couple more games that kind of I thought were a little bit interesting.
Ohio State didn't look great against Akron.
No,
I mean,
they
just
didn't.
going off the top of my head. Oregon, look, here's one thing I was really excited about today, and it doesn't matter. The polls don't matter, except to us in terms of we just like to see things ranked and ranked appropriately. And since the dawn of time, the AP poll would be, okay, if you lose, you move back. If you win, you probably go up, right? And we just accepted that. No matter who you played, no matter what score was, no matter all that stuff. Typically, those are the way it went. Well, Oregon wins, but they moved them back to like 7, and I think they were at 4. And, you know, Alabama goes up to 4. I think Notre Dame goes to 5. Somebody else went to 6. Can't remember. And I'm like, I get that. I get why they do that, and that makes sense because if you're going to have a ranking before the season, then I think you have to be open to the idea of, okay, we missed on this team.
Yeah.
Like you missed on Florida State. You just missed. It's not your fault. I get why you had them that way. You know, the Vegas missed. Vegas had them pretty big favorites these last 2 games. They lose both of them. Okay, it happens. So, but now they need to be out of the top 25, which I believe they are. So they just need to be out. And
well, look, I mean, if you're going, they're notorious about a lot of times jumping teams around the final week to, you know, kind of
that doesn't
set up play. But if you're going to do that, then jump them around all through the season.
Well,
don't make it unprecedented.
You're talking more about the committee.
Yeah.
And this is the AP poll.
I'm talking about all voters.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll tell you what, Jimmy and I have talked about this on the podcast that it sure has felt really good seeing Florida State go in this hole because, I mean, I think what we were trying to say last year was they're not the same team without Jordan Travis.
No.
They're not even close. They're clearly Jordan Travis propped up Mike Norvell.
And he was obviously really, really good.
And if you remember, they were a threat to lose to North Alabama last year with Jordan Travis. So, I mean, I feel a little vindicated, you know, and here's the other thing. I think that if you're going to have opt-outs, and that's fine, but you can't really use that as an excuse when you lose 60. They lost by 10 touchdowns to Georgia last year. It wasn't like Georgia beat them by 30. Beat them by 60. And if you don't think that's had a carryover effect, I don't think you're paying attention. I think this has definitely had a carryover effect that Florida, and it's an example of poor leadership, that Florida State has allowed the depression of not making the playoffs, and then you go and you play Georgia and you have an opportunity to try and gain some cred back, and you don't even show up. You just don't show. And it's in your state. It's in your home state. And you just don't show up. I mean, Georgia had opt-outs too. A lot of people have opt-outs. And then you play these first 2 games on 2 continents, and you lose. You're the only team that hadn't won on 2 continents. And so, yeah, it's I mean, I think Mike Norvell is losing this team, this program very, very
well. If this, depending on how this season goes, and if it spins out of control, and they're a threat to quit, and you know you end up with a losing season, do you see a pathway for, or a call for Deion to come home?
First of all, as an Alabama fan playing them next year, I would love that. But I don't think that would happen because I don't think Florida State, to my knowledge, is not very flush with money right now. They're not an SEC school that has all this money from all this TV stuff. They're an ACC school, and they're making what they can. But listen to Florida State's rest of their schedule. Memphis at home in 2 weeks.
That's tough.
It's not going to be easy. Then they play Cal at home. They should win that. Should. Then at SMU.
That's not a given.
I mean, I'm looking on ESPN's predictor, and they got Southern Methodist has a 62% chance. Clemson at Florida State. Now, say what you want to about Clemson, I still think they beat Florida State. At Duke, okay, Duke wasn't. By the way, did you hear how Duke didn't cover this game? They played Elon, and I think they're up 27-0. The line was like 26 or something, and Elon kicks a field goal with like 8 seconds left. Pretty awful. Then they're at Miami. I wouldn't feel good about that. North Carolina at Florida State, wouldn't feel good about that. At Notre Dame, wouldn't feel good. Then Charleston Southern and Florida, and that pillow fight at the end is going to be something to behold. But Florida State goes from a team that most people had in the playoffs to a team we're not sure they're going to make a bowl game.
Wow. Texas Tech needed overtime to beat Abilene Christian 52-51. What in the world is I mean, I know, look, Texas Tech has never been a great football powerhouse.
Somebody on CBS picked them to go to the playoffs.
What in the world has happened to them? I don't know. That's that.
Ever since they locked that former SMU player's kid in the closet.
Craig.
Oh gosh, what's his name?
He used to be on Sportz.
Yeah,
College
Game
Day.
Yeah,
Craig. He used to be a running back at SMU.
Yeah, he was with the Pony Express.
He was. Yeah, he was the Pony Express with Eric Dickerson.
Yeah.
Let's see. Craig, I can't. I'll get him up with it during the
Somebody
break.
will tell us.
Let's take a break. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SEC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Now at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, the full-size GMC Sierra 4x4 crew cabs discounted up to a giant $15,000 off. GMC Canyons with plenty of power and excellent towing ability, up to $5,000 off. And the roomy and enjoyable compact SUV, the popular GMC Terrains, up to $6,750 off.
Choose from over 500 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way to Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Just a couple more segments left in tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Craig James, running back for SMU, the Mustangs, when they were actually a very good football team back in the day, running the kind of wishbone with Craig James and Eric Dickerson. Man, they were a lot of fun to watch. But
did you see, by the way, on Twitter, there was a guy, FSU fan said, before the Boston College game, he said, "I will eat poop out of a red Solo cup with a spoon if FSU loses to Boston College."
Ooh.
And
who said that? Just
some random,
Oh,
he
boy.
had 1,000 followers or whatever, not a big deal. But, man, America is looking for this
Now he's
guy.
got 1 million.
Oh, his account's he's closed his account. But people are looking for this man, and it is all over Twitter. Like, if you find at whatever his name is, you let us know. And it's like, dude, don't ever. Why? Why even put that out to the universe?
You know, I'm reminded of the anchor man when he went when he was down and out and he went to his favorite restaurant and that guy gave him, he said, "I give you a plate of poop. Eat that poop.
Yeah.
Eat that poop."
Yeah.
You're gonna make that poor guy eat poop out of a Solo cup.
Oh God! And I don't even like.
In this day and age, I wouldn't put anything past anybody.
It does. I don't even think the people from Jackass would do that. I did see the people from Jackass one time. One of them got in a porta potty, and then they rolled the porta potty off a cliff, like a full porta potty. And I thought, what are you trying to accomplish? There's nothing good that's going to come. Oh God, it makes me sick to think about it.
Yeah.
There's some things. I mean, like the whole idea of this guy. Just what is wrong with you? What is wrong with people?
It's a great question.
Nobody asked. Nobody said, "Hey, Boston College is going to beat them, and if they don't, you should do blank."
I'll eat my hat. Whatever happened, I'll eat my hat. When it was made of crackers.
You kicked it up a notch.
I mean,
unnecessarily. You could have. I mean, I would much rather eat a hat.
Yeah. Put a little salt on it, I guess. I don't know, but
you didn't specify what kind of hat.
No.
I'd find a small hat.
I have a hat made of.
Get a little beret.
What were those? What those little things we used to carry as snacks? Fruit roll-ups.
Yeah.
A hat made of fruit roll-up.
There you
I
go.
mean, you know. Okay.
Craig James used to eat those.
They did. His son didn't. He hated them. Too many migraines. All right. Georgia Tech is at Syracuse. Georgia Tech is a 3-point favorite. Two
Fun game.
undefeated teams in the Carrier Dome.
And you know, did you see Kyle
I don't think they
McCord?
call it the Carrier Dome anymore, do they?
Well, you know,
I'm not
the
sure.
irony, of course, is the Carrier Dome
No
doesn't
air
have
conditioning. Yeah.
which is so dumb. I don't even know what to do. But so
Well, you're
Syracuse,
right. It's like a bubble. They blow it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Syracuse is quarterbacked by Kyle McCord, who transferred from Ohio State, and Syracuse's coach said, "Hey, I want to send Ryan Day a bottle of champagne for Kyle McCord because apparently he looked good in that game." It wouldn't shock me at all if Syracuse won that game.
It would not me either. I could definitely, because you know Georgia Tech. I mean, they won some big games last year, and I think they were, barely scraping by just to beat sorry teams too. So they're going to be one of those kind of teams.
They beat the ranked teams, and they lose to everybody else.
Yeah. So that one's at 11 o'clock on ACC. Who you like? You going with the
Let's go with the Cuse.
Going the Orangemen.
Over there.
Or are they just the orange? They're no longer men, right?
It's just the orange, yeah.
They're sexless.
Yeah.
In Syracuse.
Gender-neutral football team.
Iowa State, this is a classic, of course, I look forward to every year. Iowa State at number 25 now, the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Is
both of them undefeated.
Irresistible force versus the unwatchable offense.
The Hawkeyes are a 2.5-point favorite. This is the 2:30 CBS game.
I know. CBS is like, dear God, What have we done?
What happened?
Did you ever watch Arrested Development?
I did. Watch
Job
the
would
first
go,
season.
I've made a horrible mistake. That's what CBS should be doing right now.
Yeah.
I've made a horrible mistake.
This is. I immediately regret this decision.
Milk was a terrible choice. Yeah, just boy. I mean, I guess you can make it fun, a drinking game out of points scored or something.
I mean,
of course, it might be sober
gotta,
as a nun.
You got to go into it knowing that the over/under's like 35.
Well, Iowa did put up 40 last week.
Not against a real team.
No, and Iowa State's not bad. I mean, yeah, I think if
it's a border war, man. I mean,
I know, but it's not even a. It's not even a border war. They're in the same state.
But
is one of them thinking about seceding?
I think. Well, it's a border. It's a county border war.
Okay. Good save. Yeah, I'm gonna go Iowa, but I don't feel good about it.
I'll go with the Cyclones.
Okay.
I think they're going to spin this one out of control.
Nice.
Colorado is at Nebraska, both undefeated.
I like Nebraska.
The Cornhuskers 7.5 point.
Do you say Colorado or Colorado?
What do I say?
Yeah.
I say Colorado.
You say so. You do sort of have the O at the end.
Yes.
See, I say Colorado, and I mean, I think that's the more southern way to say it.
I think.
And it's funny. My kids always get onto me. They're like,
simple people.
I'm like,
say
are y'all
it that
coming here
way.
Wednesday or Tuesday? And they're like, it's Tuesday, Wednesday. And I said, but it's just Wednesday. I mean, it just is.
It's almost like saying breakfast.
And it's not. You have to go out of your way.
That is what flows out. And yet, see, you're such a hypocrite. When people correct
breakfast, you have to go.
When people correct your English all the time, you get all huffy.
No, breakfast.
But you don't mind dishing it out,
breakfast
do you?
is so much easier to say than breakfast. You got to It's like a annoying northern bird. Breakfast.
Breakfast.
It's like some bird that everybody hopes migrates somewhere else all the time.
Okay. Colorado.
I bet you a lot of people. Now, I guess, is it Rocky Mountain? Nah, Colorado.
He says Colorado.
I know, but you got to put the O in there in a song.
Now, I will give you this. One of my favorite movies, probably one of my favorite westerns, Rio Bravo.
One of your favorite restrooms?
Westerns. John Wayne refers to Ricky Nelson Jr. as Colorado.
I mean, look, that is a southern way to say it. Look, let's get back on point.
Well, you the one.
I know I brought it up.
All right. So who are you picking?
I'm picking Nebraska. I think Nebraska's better than Colorado. I don't see Nebraska A.
My grandmother said Missouri.
I'll be in the deep ground before I recognize Missouri.
All right. I don't know. I picked Nebraska last year, and they stunk and lost the game. So.
But they got a good quarterback now. Dylan Riola is a good quarterback.
Is he a good quarterback?
Yeah, true freshman.
Okay.
Number one quarterback in this class.
Taking your word for it if I lose money.
Okay.
Not that I bet. All right, Mississippi
You'll
State.
eat poop out of a red Solo cup.
Good grief. I'll eat chocolate ice cream out of a red Solo cup. Mississippi State at Arizona State.
Now Arizona
Sun
State
Devils 6.5
was one of the sneaky good performances. They beat Wyoming like 48-3 or 48-7 or whatever. They could
now
be.
You will be long asleep by the time this will go.
There's no chance I'll be here. Now I take that back. Alabama kicks off at 6, and the way the clock thing goes, it looks like that game will be over about 9:30. So, I got to do a post-game podcast thing, and then maybe I'll put it on for a minute. If there's a new Saturday Night Live, I might stay up for a second and watch some of that, split screen it. But, I'm going to try to watch some because I am interested to see this Mississippi State offense,
Okay. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll kind of round things out. Don't go anywhere. One more segment right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice! Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Daytonville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All in an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing. At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at DunningRoofingAL.com for more information.
All of you out there being with us this evening, doing some predictions as we kind of close things out on this Tuesday night. Who do you like in the Mississippi State-Arizona State game?
I'll go Arizona State.
Sun
I
Devils,
want to be pro Mississippi State, but I just don't think they're going to be good overall.
It's a long
way to go, and it's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot
I think
out
I saw the game was going to be like 110.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's
that's
a
at
different
9:30
kind of
at
like
night.
stinging heat. It's different.
Arkansas is at number 17, Oklahoma State. The Cowboys are an 8-point favorite.
Yeah, I like the Cowboys.
11 o'clock in the morning on ABC.
I like the Cowboys. I don't want to. I want to like Arkansas. I hope Arkansas wins. I don't think they win.
I don't trust Oklahoma State for anything.
But I trust them to win this game.
But now, this will convince me that Arkansas is a very improved team.
Yeah,
but
you win this, you open eyes.
Like, it won't shock me if Arkansas wins this game. Let me say that.
You know, and Oklahoma State probably has the best running back in the country in that Ollie Gordon III. So,
okay. South Carolina is at Kentucky. The Wildcats are a 10-point favorite.
Boy, I like Kentucky. I mean, South Carolina just looks so bad against
Yes,
the
they do.
I think Kentucky, and I want Kentucky to win. I mean, I want Kentucky to be pretty good. I think it makes things a little bit more fun, and they play Georgia the next week, I believe.
That won't matter.
I know.
I like the Wildcats too. Tennessee, number 15 team in the country, is a 7.5-point favorite over number 24, the NC State Wolfpack, 6:30 on ABC.
All right, I've been on the NC State train. I'm so tempted to get off. I should get off. I'm going to be loyal, and I'll go NC State, but I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about forcing myself.
Nowhere should you be.
I'm bullying myself into this.
I think this one gets ugly. Probably.
I do too, probably.
I might go with Tennessee there. All right, number 4, Texas, 7.5-point favorite on the road in the big house against the Michigan Wolverines.
I like Texas to win and Michigan to cover.
Okay. Texas to win, Michigan to cover. Keeping the game close. Maybe Texas holding on for a win or coming back and
holding on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could probably. I mean, I think I'll probably have to go with Texas. I think they're the more talented team, at least right now. All right. California is at Auburn. 13-point favorite, the Tigers are now, 2:30 on ESPN2. Hopefully, this game will not come down to a late kickoff.
I don't think it will. I think Auburn wins by 24 points.
I would love to see that.
I think it'll happen.
Okay, giving me 24. Okay. South Florida is at number 5, Alabama, 31.
Yeah, I think
favorites.
Alabama rumbles too. Again, I think Jalen Milroe is going to be extra motivated for this game. And look, there's some things. Alabama's got a lot of offense still to work on. They only completed 12 passes against. It just so happened. You got an 85-yard run in there. You got about a 40-something yard run in there. You got a 87 or 84-yard bomb. You got, a bunch of stuff that I think Alabama's going to do some things like they didn't even throw to the back. I think they threw to them twice and neither one was completed, and they were like late. I think you'll see some throws to the backs, and I think Alabama just rumbles again. I think they've got a really good offense and a much better offensive line, and it's going to show.
Okay. Okay. What would you give me a score?
Let's say Alabama. I think Alabama covers. Let's say Alabama wins by 35.
Okay. That'd be fine. All right. Happy birthday today, Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
80s Charlie Sheen movies.
Okay. I thought you were going to say 80. I was like, there's no way he's 80.
Not named Platoon. 80s Charlie Sheen movies, not named Platoon. Red Dawn.
Good.
1983. Wolverines. Lucas. 1986.
Didn't see that.
Corey Haim. He was a little nerd playing football. Charlie Sheen was the jock. You don't remember that one?
Didn't see it.
Never saw that. How did you miss that one?
I just did. I don't know.
That was actually a pretty.
It's probably on a date, Andy. It's not true at all.
1986. Let's see. Luke was
14.
Wow.
And I was 10 times as nerdy as you think I was without the smarts.
Well, if you haven't seen Lucas, I doubt you've seen The Wraith.
Have not.
Golly, you're missing out, man. 1986, that one's actually a really good one. He's a ghost that comes back in a souped-up interceptor, Dodge Interceptor, and races the vicious gang races people but cheats and then takes their car from them. But he comes back, and they actually murdered him earlier when he was somebody else, but he comes back as a ghost and kills them all brutally. It's a great movie.
I bet like every 80s movie, the special effects were.
Oh, actually, they're pretty good. I mean, you've got the blue lightning that every 80s sci-fi movie had. And you've got a young Sherilyn Fenn.
Okay.
Yeah. Young Guns, 1988.
That's awesome.
If you hadn't seen that one, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yes, no, I've seen that multiple times.
And there was a little thing called Major League,
that was
1989.
Great. Hard to beat.
Hard to beat that one.
I'd put Major League One because it's funny, and I hate baseball, and the movie's hilarious.
It is maybe one of the. I mean, people. I know they say The Natural, which they're all good, and Field of Dreams.
This may be the more realistic.
I mean, honestly, this may be the best baseball movie ever. Just because it's just so funny, and it's just you got so many people that were actually good, like Wesley Snipes and Pedro Serrano before he became famous, and Corbin Burnson and all these different. I mean, it's just full of guys.
It was great. Loved it a lot, and I'd put it up there as I'd rather watch it than The Natural.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna watch it if it's on. Yeah, no question. So you're going number 1 with
Major League. Number 2, Red Dawn.
Of course.
Number 3, whatever the second and last one was.
Young Guns.
Yes. And then there's 2
If you saw The Wraith, you would put it at least number 3 or higher.
What am I going to put it ahead of? Young Guns?
Yeah, no, but you put it ahead of
Major League, Red Dawn.
It would be up there.
I'm putting it ahead of Red Dawn. I got to put it ahead of one of them. You said 3 or higher.
That's true.
But you're wrong.
Well,
it's your opinion.
I'm saying that's what you would do.
No, I wouldn't.
And yes, you would, because you'd be wrong.
I'm already telling you that Red Dawn is 3.
No, you're right. You can't put it above Red Dawn, Major League, or Young Guns.
Can't do it.
But you could put it 4.
I could put it 4. That's fine. And then I put the other one at 5 because I hadn't seen them. Yeah.
And Lucas is not a terrible movie, but you remember the little redheaded girl that was in Goonies? Mm-hmm. She was in Lucas.
Okay.
She was the love interest in. Anyway, it was a decent 80s teen flick. It wasn't a great one.
You seem to have a soft spot for it.
I do, actually, but it's not that good. All right, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for us tonight. We're going to go ahead
always leave them
and close that. I try to. That's why they come back each and every week. He is Luke Robinson. I am Andy Graham. It's been fun. Thank you so much for being with us. Somebody roll the credits, so we got to go.
The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rate. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekend. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
At Team One Hyundai, it's the Summer Savings Sales Event. All new Hyundais will be sold at employee pricing, plus an unheard of $1,000 bonus for your trade-in. See our huge selection of new and pre-owned inventory at team1hyundai.com. Don't miss the summer savings with employee pricing, plus a $1,000 bonus for your trade. Team One Hyundai of Gadsden, where the experience exceeds your expectations.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama is looking to see you today. Now let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscar's Highway 49 South in Dadeville. 256-825-4827.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Announcing Camping World's Inflation Buster camping program. You can now get into a new RV starting at just $98 a month. We won't let the economy steal your camping season. Take advantage of this very limited time offer and lock in your low monthly payment today.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
SignSource is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Summertime is a special time. Time on the water, time away from work, and more time with family and friends. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state, and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
With summer here, the kids out of school, and fun at the lake, illness or injury can strike at any time. Whether you're on vacation or just don't have time to go see your primary doctor, visit your friends and professionals at Ivy Creek Urgent Care, located at Highway 49 South, next to Stillwater's main entrance, with a rotation of 4 professional doctors and 3 nurse practitioners. They honor all walk-ins, get you in, properly treated, and out swift so you can be back to the summer fun fast. When you need urgent, see Ivy Creek Urgent Care, Dadeville. No appointment needed.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor wants you to know the only thing hotter than the summer on the lake is the hot incentives with all Mahindra tractors and farm implements and tough Spartan mowers. Right now, get the year's hottest deals on Mahindra with financing up to 84 months or 0%. Speaking of zero, see the huge selection of zero-turn Spartan mowers with 0% interest, financing up to 60 months. See the Lake's authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer, Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, for deals that sizzle all season long. Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor wants you to know the only thing hotter than the summer on the lake is the hot incentives with all Mahindra tractors and farm implements and tough Spartan mowers. Right now, get the year's hottest deals on Mahindra with financing up to 84 months or 0%. Speaking of zero, see the huge selection of zero-turn Spartan mowers with 0% interest, financing up to 60 months. See the Lake's authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer, Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, for deals that sizzle all season long.